A frequently asked question is, why have I got my salary or direct wages double counted on my profit and loss account? If you are using Xero Payroll and you're finding this is a question you're regularly asking, this video is for you. Hi, if you're new here, welcome. My name's Lucy and I run Burton's Academy, where I help business owners and accountants better understand how to use Xero and any other accounting software such as QuickBooks or general top tips that come through. So today what we're doing is we're looking at Xero Payroll and why we might have a double count on our profit and loss account. So first of all, we'll start on Xero on our dashboard screen and we will go over to our reports and look at our profit and loss account to see what I mean. Let's bring this to life. So on my profit and loss account, I can see that I have direct wages of 5.887 and I also have salaries of 5,887. And that means there is a double count somewhere. So I don't understand what I'm doing wrong, but something is going on and that's not right. So first of all, what you could do is you could go over to your payroll settings and have a look at whether they are set up incorrectly. So going on to payroll and then payroll settings. You can also go through the main screen and go through your name and settings that way as well. So your organization settings should be similar to this. You might have slightly different chart of accounts, that's absolutely fine. But I've allocated mine, for example, to salaries here, and the rest are payable items. So wages go to a payable location, NIC goes to a payable location. The reason it goes to a payable location, so a balance sheet code, is because when I make the payment to my employee, I no longer am required to pay them. So my liability has now gone back to zero. So I, for example, will run my payroll and I am saying, today I have made, so let's just go back to our profit and loss account. So today I've paid salary of 5.8 this month. I have put the expense through in my payroll journal through Xero. And at the moment, though, I haven't actually paid my staff member. So I now need to put that payment into a balance sheet code and therefore my payable code because I have expensed the item today because that's what Xero does for me automatically. So then once I make the payment, it's no longer a liability and I can then clear that code off and make that code back to zero. So what we can see in here is if we go to direct wages, because I know that salaries is the one that is connected to my payroll journal, I know that's probably the one that's right. So therefore, direct wages isn't mentioned here. So that's where I need to have a look at what is going through direct wages and am I maybe posting something incorrectly. So opening up direct wages, what we can then do is we can see exactly what type of transaction has gone through. And this shows that the source is spend money. So what that means, and again, I will just jump into one to make it really, really clear for us today. But what this means is it's a bank account transaction. So I have made a payment to my employee and this is that payment. As we've said before, this payment is to go against the payable location. So the direct wages is incorrect and it needs to go against my balance sheet because now by posting it to direct wages, I'm double counting this transaction because this has already been posted through salaries because of Xero Payroll. Now, if I wasn't using Xero Payroll and I just posted my direct wages through the bank account, then absolutely fine, this is right to do. But because we have Xero Payroll, that already uses the expense codes for us, and we need to allocate any actual payments to our staff members to our payable location. So, a couple of ways to fix this. We can click on to every individual item and go on to, so open them up like this and click options, edit transaction, and then go onto the account code and then change this to our payable location. So again, it's wages payable, payroll, and then I can click update. That will then save this location and it will reduce the error that I did before, the duplication. However, if I've got quite a few staff members that I've got to do that for, it's going to be quite a long time I'm going to be doing that. So instead, what I want to do is go over to accounting and go onto this find and recode. And what this means is I can look for all of the items that I've posted to direct wages and I can move them all to the right location. So on here, find and recode, add a condition, and the account code is what we're changing. So I'm going to go for direct wages, click on that one, then click search. And then all three of these need to be moved because they are currently in the wrong place. So I'm going to tick that tick box at the top because I know that all the right dates that need to be moved. And then I can click recode. And then I can change this to our payable location. So again, wages, payable, payroll, review, confirm. And then once that's posted, I can go back to my profit and loss account. And I should now see only wages under the salaries location. And there you have it. We no longer have direct wages. What this also means is it fixes our balance sheet. So another way of looking into this was if you went onto your balance sheet, you would have seen you had a payable item still for employees. And as you're already paying them, that's incorrect. So for example, this payable wages, this item here, we've got 1.22. So originally this would have remained at the 5,000. And so it would have looked like I'm not paying my staff members, which isn't great, but it's also incorrect. So again, here, what we can see is I've made some payments and I've had my journal posted there as well. So if this still doesn't balance back to zero, and you know you've done, for example, April to June, you've made the payroll journal and you've made the payments to every single staff member on that payroll, and this still doesn't balance back to zero, I would have a look into what those journal items were for and who they were for, and have you maybe paid some people on top of their payroll allocation. And so maybe you need to post another item against next month's payroll, or you need to amend last month's payroll because they actually were paid more. Or has something gone awry? Again, maybe you've accidentally paid them too much because you've done this outside of zero. And so actually, they owe you the money back, maybe, I don't know. But this should always, on a monthly basis, balance back to zero because you should be hopefully paying all your staff on time every month. The only reason this may not balance back to zero is if your wages as a director are included in here and you're not looking to take that money out every month, and maybe you take it out every few months because that is better for a cash flow perspective and you don't need this payroll money right now, maybe. That should be the only reason this doesn't balance back. If you've got any questions though, do reach out. I'm more than happy to help further with anything in relation to zero. Hope this video was helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow along for more helpful top tips. I'll see you at the next one.